Thanks FlexSeal for sponsoring this video and powering our science mission. Hi, I'm Mark from Team Dominator. Hailstorms can do major damage to vehicles, and glass is one of the weak points. The last hailstorm I was in took out the windshield, and I was lucky that it didn't destroy the MoonRoof too. MoonRoof glass replacement is generally 2 to 3 times more expensive than a windshield, and that can get costly fast. For my use case, I want the MoonRoof to still open. Let's delve into some science and come up with a solution. The impact force of a hailstone and its potential to do damage depends on two things: the kinetic energy of the hailstone and the distance travelled after the impact. Kinetic energy is the energy in the motion of the hailstone. As the mass of the hailstone increases, so does the kinetic energy. Also, larger hailstones fall faster, and because the velocity term is squared, they acquire even more energy. At impact, the work energy principle tells us that the average force times the distance travelled after impact is equal to the kinetic energy. We don't have control over the size or speed of the hailstone, but we do have control of the distance after impact. Work energy principle formula tells us that if we double the distance, we can halve the impact force. Let's see what happens if we add some flex tape. First, a disclaimer: using flex tape to protect against hail damage is not a recommended application. This technique may reduce hail damage, but is not a guarantee against no damage. Flex tape is rubberized, so when it's impacted by something, it deforms and compresses and absorbs some of the impact. A typical 2.5-inch hailstone has a kinetic energy of about 50 joules. Flex tape thickness is about 0.6 millimeters, and let's say the flex tape compresses down to about 0.2 millimeters. That gives about 0.4 millimeters of deformation. For one layer of flex tape, we have 50 joules of kinetic energy. Let's see how that changes with 2 layers. 2 layers gives us double the distance for deformation, which equals 0.8 millimeters. This halves the kinetic energy, giving us 25 joules. This technique of increasing distance after impact to reduce the impact force is used when we jump from a height onto the ground and we bend our knees, increasing the distance travelled, and also is the reason for crumple zones in vehicles. There is also a rubberized coating that some storm chasers spray on their vehicles to reduce the damage from hailstones, which uses the same principle. So I'm going to apply 3 layers of flex tape to my MoonRoof to reduce the kinetic energy. The takeaways here are that it dramatically increases hail resistance. However, it should not be used on anything you need to see out of, for example the windshield or other glass around the vehicle. This isn't invincibility. Very large hail can still damage the vehicle. Also, these are ballpark figures with simple calculations. I'm using Flex Tape Max on this, seeing as it's a large surface to cover. First, I clean the glass with some isopropyl alcohol. Next, I tape the Flex Seal down so that I can measure it out. Because I'm using Flex Tape Max Transparent, I can trace around the outside of the glass. Then I cut out the tape, peeled back the packing film and started to place it down. I'm peeling the backing film off as I go. On to the next piece. Putting on a second layer, and afterwards I put on a third. Job done, and the sunroof still opens. Bonus, I can still see the sky. Thank you for watching. Flex on.